everybody. It is Wednesday. It's very late on the East Coast, and it's still just after well, right on the dot 10:30, and we just have maybe a little bit of a test and maybe just a line. More to come. Hi everybody, it's Black Spring after dark, or it's more of a night cue on this Wednesday night. And I don't have a ton. Just want to run a couple of things, and I don't know, maybe I have a couple of lines for you. And we'll just do our usual thanks to our supporters, and I'll be right back. All right, this is a test, and thank you guys so much for tuning in. And this is just a little bit of a stream from another content creator that I follow. So I'm just gonna have a look at that just really quickly. Thank you so much for tuning in.
Call this the George Floyd Square or the George Floyd State. I'm right down here so you can see what I'm talking about.
Well, that's what kills me now. The fact that I can go find a $47 cowboy ribeye.
So for anybody that's tuning in, thank you so much for tuning in. And this is a little bit of, looks like some of the aftermath. It looks like more of a memorial kind of a site. So if you have a chance to pop in and just have a look at this, it's great. If not, I really appreciate you for considering coming in on this evening and just have a quick look at this. And you're welcome to hang out. Really appreciate it. And this is coming from another content creator who's actually been on the ground and in the trenches for quite some time. And I'll let him tell you the rest. So I'll be right back. I'll give you the full screen here.
So people walking around me, one guy saw me there and he just stopped to listen to what I was saying. It's amazing to me that they have, look at that, Martin Luther King here. People out here idolizing a criminal thug. That's true. I'm not a plantation dweller. I pray to stay safe in the name of Jesus.
For those of you that are just joining us, this is out of Minneapolis, and this is Will Johnson on the ground here.
Bear with me. I'm gonna walk down to where the sign is, where I was telling y'all, where I got the title of this broadcast. I'm gonna walk down here. You see, I have my hat on. I'm gonna have to take my hat off just in case someone wants to scan it, and then they'll see who I'm about, and then they'll get really crazy. But maybe I'll just leave it on. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna leave it on in the name of Jesus, because I'm not gonna be afraid. I'm not gonna walk through the valley of death and fear these evil people. But I'm walking down here because I want you to see this sign that they put up here saying this is George Floyd State. They're saying this is George Floyd State, and everyone needs to respect it as such. Well, you know how I feel about that. Okay. It's a trip to me because
I just want to stop this here for just a brief second here. I just want to make a comment, even though this is my first time viewing this. For anybody that's out there, or if you're not out there, if you're thinking about coming in, this is interesting to me because I've talked about the level of idolatry and the idolaters, and this is like, to me, idolatry on steroids. It's actually very disturbing. It's actually it's bizarre. It's the scariest thing to see it like in your face like that. So this is Will Johnson on his channel, but he's actually on the ground, and this is in Minneapolis. So I'm going to continue to play a little bit of this on this test. So if you guys are tuning in, or you're thinking about tuning in, I appreciate it, and we'll get right back to it.
People bring in flowers, and they're putting flowers here. I mean, you know what, to me, people, it'll be one thing if he was a stand-up guy. It'll be one thing if he was a outstanding citizen. It'll be one thing if he was doing multiple positive things for the community. It'll be one thing if he was that type of person. But he was just the opposite of all of that. He was a criminal. He was a drug user, probably a drug dealer. Okay. There's a trip to me. They have these signs here. It says, "Let's be better humans." Y'all see this? Let's be better humans. This isn't over. See. And they're screaming for justice. But it's who justice, right? It's not justice for all. And I guess they got Antifa standing guard here, because they said the police are not allowed in here. Okay.
Now, I want to stop this just to make another assertion here, if you will. Okay. So I don't know if you guys remember, I've talked about this before. I've talked about this on some level before. I don't know if you guys remember the Chaz or the Chop from last summer. But I've said this before, it's like we're living the summer of 2019 again. Well, to me, this is another testimony to that. This is another this is another, to me, this is another sign that we're actually just, we're on a loop. We're dealing in swells, or we're kind of, it's kind of like we're reverting back on some level. So do you guys, if you guys remember the Chaz and the Chop zones, those zones did not permit police or anyone that they did not deem acceptable, or those that were not a part of that particular zone. So I I think that the summer has already started in many ways. That the riot season has already started up again. So it's interesting that Johnson is on the ground for this, and the fact that they've set up this kind of a zone, or their own, dare I say, not colony, or they've colonized some area in that city or in the state, and saying, hey, nobody's allowed in here. I mean, they're not cohabitating in this area. And dare I say, I speak too soon, they're not cohabitating in this area. But I'm wondering if these types of places are going to start appearing, if this is going to be a new sight, a new trend in the protest, because as I'm saying, the riot season has started. So I submit that you could very well see these types of memorial type places set up, or either, some type of, there, it's a different society, or a different, you've got to, in order to get into that enclave, you've got to be a part, be a Marxist to be a part of that. Or you're setting up your own zone, if this is like a precursor to another chop or Chaz zone. So we'll see what that looks like. So I'm just going to keep watching this just a little bit longer, if you guys don't mind. I think this is a little bit fascinating. I'm fascinated with it. So this is kind of a test. It's night Q, and I know it's late. So anybody, if you're interested, come in. If you're being a voyeur, thank you for considering coming in. And I'm going to keep playing. I'll get back to Mr. Johnson here.
Going around. And look at that. You see that? Respect others. Respect one another. That's what they're saying, but that's not what they do. It's not what they practice. And they got these signs up here. Come on. This is George Floyd Square. You see there? George Floyd Square. And then over here, you are now entering the free state of George Floyd.
Okay, I'm sorry. I could not help myself. Do you see what I'm saying here? And this is the first time I'm looking at this, for anybody that's out there that's paying attention to this. So do you see the implication here is more of that Chaz Chop zone, where people who want to practice their ideology, they seize an area. And I don't know, at some point, who knows, maybe they'll even be armed and behind a wall. I just think that this thing could very much turn into something similar as the Chop and the Chaz zone. So it's just interesting that that they're doing it on this occasion. So now, you don't have street signs that are being named. You have, dare I say, some type of colonization, or some type of sovereign kind of nation they're creating with this. It's very it's more than interesting. It's peculiar to me, and I suspect more of this will happen. And so we should keep watching. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. If you're around, appreciate it. It is a late night Q, and thank you so much for tuning in.
You'll see that. You're entering the free state of George Floyd. And you see some of the sage that they have on the ground there for the witchcraft that's going on. Let me show you that too. See, most people will never come here. Most people won't even care to come here. And I get it. I get it. So look at that. Did you
Hello,
ever?
Studi.
That's crazy, is it not? That's crazy.
Okay, I just wanna say hi to Studi. Hi, Studi. Thanks so much for coming in. I'm gonna read your comment here if you're okay with that. I know it's a late night, and I don't know. This is my first time viewing this, and I've just compared it to when I saw it right away. I'm just thinking, is this possible? This was before he started walking towards any of the signage. But I said, don't tell me they're going to turn this into another Chaz Chop Zone and or create some kind of sovereign nation or see some type of area. And I'm wondering if it's going to be armed. Now that's the next thing I'm looking for. I'm looking for some type of armed personnel or armed group of people, their own militia, dare I say. Who was that was, I don't know if you watched, I don't know if you've seen that gross clip of Cuomo talking about militias forming in the name of this type of to me, this is a response, this kind of a vigilante kind of response or declaration of sovereign nation or something. So this is the George Floyd state that is what we're witnessing here, and Will Johnson is actually on the ground digging around. So I find it's quite interesting. So thanks so much for tuning in. And Studi says, I think we are headed towards a future much the same as the one Mad Max experienced. Yeah, I'll take that. I'll take that for sure. So yeah, so if you don't mind, I'm gonna let Will get back to what he does best, and so yeah, and I suspect that more places will start doing the same thing. As I said earlier, I don't know if there'll be like cohabitation going on there. As he said, there's no police allowed there, so. But then they'll probably have, if this thing kicks off, then they'll probably have somebody armed guarding this thing, and then they have walls and everything. Everything that they say that they're against is what I see going into this zone. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get back and I'm going to stop talking. So I find it interesting. Hi, Anarchy Television. So I think since because you guys are coming in, it might be valuable if I just rewind it just back just a little bit and see if you guys don't resemble what's happening here. This is Will Unite. Well, he used to be. This is a Let's Talk About It, but he did some on the ground in the trenches kind of a work or tour here in Minneapolis, and he's going through this zone. It's this bizarre zone. So I'm going to kick it back just a couple of notches and you can see it for yourself.
That's true. I'm not a plantation dweller. I pray to stay safe in the name of Jesus. Okay. Okay. Bear with me. I'm gonna walk down to where the sign is, where I was telling y'all, where I got the title of this broadcast. I'm gonna walk down here. You see I have my hat on? I'm gonna have to take my hat off just in case someone wants to scan it, and then they'll see who I'm about, and then they'll get really crazy. But maybe I'll just leave it on. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna leave it on in the name of Jesus, because I'm not gonna be afraid. I'm not gonna walk through the valley of death and fear these evil people. But I'm walking down here because I want you to see this sign that they put up here saying this is George Floyd State. They're saying this is George Floyd State, and everyone needs to respect it as such. Well, you know how I feel about that. Okay. It's a trip to me because people bring in flowers and they're putting flowers here. I mean, you know what, to me, people, it'll be one thing if he was a stand-up guy. It'll be one thing if he was a outstanding citizen. It'd be one thing if he was doing multiple positive things for the community. It would be one thing if he was that type of person. But he was just the opposite of all of that. He was a criminal. He was a drug user, probably a drug dealer. Okay. There's a trip to me. They have these signs here. It says, let's be better humans. Y'all see this? Let's be better humans. This isn't over. See. And they're screaming for justice. But it's who justice, right? It's not justice for all. And I guess they got Antifa standing guard here because they said the police are not allowed in here. Okay. Going around and look at that. You see that? Respect others. Respect one another. That's what they're saying, but that's not what they do. It's not what they practice. And they got these signs up here. Come on. This is George Floyd Square. You see there? George Floyd Square. And then over here, you are now entering the free state of George Floyd. You'll see that. You're entering the free state of George Floyd. And you see some of the sage that they have on the ground there for the witchcraft that's going on. Let me show you that too. See, most people will never come here. Most people won't even care to come here. And I get it. I get it. So look at that. Did you ever? That's crazy, isn't that? That's crazy. I was told that if the police come here and the police are walking around, they say they call people and gather people around and they make people leave. It's a trip. And another thing that I noticed was that if you go to Maps, I don't know if it's the same thing on the Google Maps, but on the Apple device, if you go to Maps on the iPhone and you type in George Floyd Square and search for it, they put a star. And if you look at it, they got it blocked off the sections to the street where you can't pass, where you can't go by. And it's a upside down crucifix. Got George Floyd as a star, and then it's an upside down crucifix. If you go look at it, sticks out like a sore thumb. I encourage you, go look at it. Let me know if you have a Android, go look at it and let me know. Angel, thank you so much. Angel Love, thank you so much. Go look at it. Let me know if you have an Android. And someone was just telling me that if you just go to the map and you put it in, it shows a star. But even the position of that star on the upside down crucifix says a lot. Okay, hold on. I got some music there. I don't want to get hit with no copyright strike because they must do. Let's definitely do that. All right, hold on. Hopefully it's not coming through there. Hopefully it's not coming through. Okay. All right. Does anyone have an Android? Can y'all look at that? Just go to the maps on your Android device and type in George Floyd Square and tell me if you see the upside down crucifix as well. Maybe it's just on the iPhone. I don't know. And it's just, when I saw it, I just saw it because I put it on Twitter and then I put it on Instagram and Facebook. I took a screenshot of it and I put it up there and I just asked people, what do you see? What do you see? Oh, it says no results on the Android, not on my phone. Well, it's on my Facebook page and I put it on Twitter. You can straight up see the crucifix upside down and with a star. The position of that star for George, representing George Floyd, is crazy. And this comes on the heels of Nancy Pelosi sending out worship to George Floyd. Okay, so I'm in the square right now, where they're calling the square. Look, and there's quite a few people here. Oh, there goes the music. I hope you don't hear that music. Have to cover it up. Sorry about that, everybody. He's calling me. Are you on?
Really quick and then we can go.
What avenue is this? This is East 38. And what? Which street is this going across here? I don't see, but I will show you. I'm on East 38. This is the store where it happened at, and right there was where the police vehicle was, where George Floyd was on the ground. So I walked down there and got the sign and stuff, and I walked back. So, okay. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I guess it is Chicago. But that's where we are. Don't read it out loud, but look what this person said. Yeah. And of course, they got the fist there. And they brought in, looks like they brought in dirt for all the plants.
Just gonna pause this just for a second. So, okay, so this actually kind of brings me to, Will gives his assertions, whether they're based on, spirituality, whether it's based on Christianity, whatever, wherever you think it lies. However, this kind of brought me to my thought on the disturbing part of what he was saying about Pelosi and that whole entourage of people that were it's just it's very eerie. It's very eerie what to have people thanking somebody, which, it's just when people start thanking people as if they are some type of human sacrifice, and this is absolutely dark. It to me, it doesn't. There's nothing light about this. There's nothing light about a group of politicians getting together and thanking somebody, and basically, to me, she's actually mocking the community, the Black community, and just the way she talked about Pelosi was saying that, oh, he was calling out for his mother, as if that's something that a man is supposed to do. A grown man should be revered for calling out for their mother. I mean, that's something that children do. That's something that children do. And then to have the girlfriend type up making some type of speech and thinking, oh, he accomplished this so that other people could be, and it's just a never ending, this is a never ending spiel, a never ending altar of victimhood, because you know what happens in victimhood, there's always survivors, and as long as there are survivors, there will be more victimhood. So this will never end, folks. It will never end. But I'm pointing out what I consider to be a dark praising of what happened in the situation. But then to see this, to me, I think it is. I don't think I'm off by finding. I don't think this is a light thing, that this is something. I don't see it as a light thing. I find it eerie. I find it creepy. I find it demonic. I think it's dark. I mean, how many people have been memorialized like this? And then you've got politicians up, of all people, Nancy Pelosi. And of course, she's got a bunch of Black politicians standing behind her. And they're all wearing some kind of a mask. And then, yes, I just went on to Will's page, and yes, there is a star. There is a star on the map. Now, the crucifix that he's referring to, I was looking for that. And I'll look for it again. But you guys know we've talked about this before. This is Night Q, Wednesday night Q. Where else? It was Rachel Van Ziel. Shout out to Rachel Van Ziel, wherever you are. If you're able to see this in replay, we saw, or Rachel was able to point out, you guys remember those videos? The HHPH, the hip hop public health videos out of New York? Well, those videos contained an upside down cross. The same thing that Will Johnson is describing right now was one of the guys in the animated characters in that video was wearing an upside down cross. Now, is it a coincidence? I don't know. I just compared this thing on some level to the Chaz Chop Zone of the summer of 2019, which I've been telling you guys for a while, that I think we're on a cycle of, I think that not only the news cycle, but this horrible movie that we're watching, it's all like 9-12 months behind. We've already seen previews. We've already seen the preview shows. But now we're in this loop in which we're starting to see some of the same things. So this free state of George Floyd is where Johnson is in this footage from earlier today. So he's actually in Minneapolis in this free state of George Floyd. There's a sign there. They've got their own gates or their own wall that they're putting up. And I said, the next thing they're probably going to put armed people behind these gates. But Will did say that they're saying there's no police allowed in there. So I'm just telling you, I think this is only going to get creepier. And the agenda it's a dark agenda. It's, we heard in the Biden campaign that this was all about the soul of America. Well, I think they're making their play. I think they're collecting as many dark souls as they can, no matter whether you're spiritual, you're religious or not. Anytime you start seeing people going to these kinds of extremes, it's more than just, I'm sorry, there's a little bit more, I think, going on here than just somebody, you know, that has perished. I mean, have you guys ever seen this kind of exaltation? Have you ever seen this before? And in fact, I just went onto Will's page and I actually see there's a star. There is a star on that map that says that this is, what does it say? I just went on his page. Okay, it says George Floyd Square. And I don't know how long it was before Nancy did her little spiel and the girlfriend, how they're all talking about this sacrifice. You know, it's incredibly creepy and dark to me. But it's definitely there. The upside down crucifix or cross, I have not seen that yet. When I see it, I'll pull it out. But right now I haven't seen it yet. But I said, shout out to Rachel Van Ziel. Rachel pointed out on our public health, on those hip hop videos, that we saw upside down cross, and she was absolutely correct. If I'm not mistaken, that upside down crucifix or cross is at least a faux. You know, it's dark. And looks like Will has identified some other things in the area. So watch just a little bit more. I'm going to read some comments. Thank you guys so much for coming in on this late night. It's what I call, these are night cues. I know it's late, but I'm just getting around to it. And I thought, hey, why not have a look? Because this was done earlier today, but I'm certainly wanting to get to look at it a little bit more. I'm even more curious now, but I said this is looking like some kind of a sovereign nation that they've created out of this situation. And I think we're in the season of riot. So I think this is the beginning of the riot. It's only going to grow. And I think they're going to use this. They're using this situation, the Floyd case. They're going to use every single case to pad them, to move them forward with what they're doing. To distract and to move it forward and to wear everybody out. Meanwhile, there's all kinds of global, international kinds of things that are going on that are pretty weird. But yeah, so I'm just going to keep an eye on that. But you also remember, what was it? Cuomo on CNN made an outrageous assertion or hypothesis the other night. And it was pretty dark. He talked about militias for him. So I'm just thinking pretty soon, I think there are going to be militias showing up at this place. And I think as the summer goes along, we'll start to see a resurge of these Chaz-like, these caricatures of the Chaz chop zones, I think are going to reappear. And yeah, so that's my assertion. So if you guys don't mind, let's just go back and see what Will and I don't know if Ben Bergeron was doing. Let me read this comment and we'll get back to it. Thanks so much, guys, for tuning in. And Joseph Francis Burton says, treating him as a child, AOC was saying there was no justice because GF's mother could no longer tuck him into bed. He was a grown man. Oh my gosh, where'd you hear that? Joseph Francis Burton. I don't know. I don't have a Twitter account, so I don't really know what comes out of, that's, it's a lot that comes out of that personality, but yeah, but you see what I'm saying? I think that's a bit of mockery to kind of put somebody in an infantile state, or to give a person to put a man in such an immature state at that age, to give him the caricature of a child. So what is this, marrying Jesus and baby Jesus now? What are we, do you guys see? This is really demented. And really sick, Joseph Francis Burton. I mean, I think that's exactly what we're talking about. You know what I mean? Like, this is some kind of sacrifice. That's some kind of caricature. It's very dark. And I'm going to keep going here. Okay, so Joseph Francis Burton said she did a live stream after the guilty verdict when she said that. Okay, well, I believe you. I'll take your word for it. It's probably a lot more coherent coming out of you than anything that I could read that she would write. So let's go back to Will Johnson, if you will. Thanks, guys, for tuning in.
Hello.
Hi.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Okay. So, what do you think about the guilty verdicts?
Oh, very happy. We were in this. Me and my mom were in the store and we were screaming, super happy about
You're
it.
screaming.
Yeah, he
Do
got
you
what he deserved.
do you think they're gonna appeal it?
I would hope not, but it's the court system is white, so just gotta hope and pray for
Yeah.
that it wouldn't happen.
Yeah, I heard that because of the comments from Maxine Waters, Congresswoman Maxine Waters, is that they're gonna call for an appeal because of her comments. Have you heard of that?
Oh no, I haven't actually. I think
Yeah.
I've seen something about it, but I haven't read too deep into it.
Yeah. So I guess we'll see.
Yeah,
I guess we'll see.
hoping that he'll just go to jail.
What do you think is next?
I hope we can continue on with this and we can go on with all the other people who have been killed, because this still isn't justice. This is just one person. We've got hundreds of other people who still need justice.
So I know there was another one in Ohio, right?
Uh-huh.
Recently. Have you seen anything or heard anything about that?
Yeah, I think it happened like right after the verdict or sometime that day.
Mm-hmm.
Very insane. And I think it's just, I hope that they can, what they seen that day, yesterday, that they can do the same thing for her.
They showed the body cam footage that there was a knife involved. Did you
Right.
hear about that?
So what I heard about it was specifically that she had gotten into a fight and she called the police for help, and she had a knife for self-defense. And because I had seen the knife, they just shot off rounds immediately.
Oh, just because they saw the knife in her hand.
Yeah.
She wasn't doing anything at the time.
No, I didn't hear that she was like trying to attack the police or anybody else. She just had it because other people were trying to attack her.
Oh, okay. And Deontay Wright.
You're right.
So that case is still
Right.
going on.
From what I've heard, that she has gotten, Kim Porter got second-degree manslaughter, I believe it was. I think a little bit more needs to be done, but I'm glad that they took fast action to at least charge her with something.
But cool. Hey, thank you for your time.
You're welcome.
Okay, you're hearing it right there. So I just want to get their opinion and not be per se confrontational. So I just want people to hear what is being said. Hello.
Hi.
Can I ask you some questions?
Sure.
What do y'all think about the verdict?
Oh, thank God. It's it was a lot of hard work, We've been organizing protests and have been out in the streets, almost constantly for a year. I'm so glad the jury did the right thing, but it was a lot of work.
What do you think it would have been like had they not given them 3 guilty strikes?
Oh, it would have been ugly. Like, people were mad. Justifiably mad, but people would have been mad.
What do you think about Deontay Wright?
Oh
What do you think about that case? Do you think is she going to be convicted? You think she should be?
I think this makes it more likely that she will be. You know what I'm saying? Like this is a precedent that like you can't kill people and then get away with it. Like, so I'm hoping that this can do some good work for that. But what we need is the cops to stop killing people.
You need that case that's not so clear. I mean, this was so obvious. So we need those cases that aren't as obvious what happened, that happened in an instant, that didn't take 9 minutes.
And that
to
you
kill
don't have
somebody.
video evidence for it. You should still get consequences even if there's not a video.
Yeah. Why is the first thing they do go to their gun? Why?
Yeah. Speaking about video, did you see the one in Ohio just minutes after?
I haven't seen
Have
it.
y'all heard about it?
Heard about it.
What have you heard about it?
We've not really, to be honest, we haven't been talking about that at home this week because it's just already been a really emotional week. But I haven't watched that video.
She's 15. So she has a knife. White shooters who've killed hundreds come out alive. Why? How can you not deal with a 15-year-old girl with a knife? How is that life-threatening if you're a cop? You're trained. You should be trained to deal with that. But all that the cops seem to do is escalate. They don't seem to know how to de-escalate. Right? Their first answer is to go for their gun. Why?
Do you think it should be something, possibly look to in the future, that if they do a simple traffic stop, that they don't have their sidearm with them when they do it?
Yeah.
We've been organizing with the Twin Cities Coalition for Justice for Jamar. around CPAC, Civilian Police Accountability Council. Like, we think that there needs to be real consequences when cops do this stuff.
Community control of the police.
Like, they need to get fired, they need to get jailed. Like, you know, like they need to be afraid of doing this stuff. And right now they're not afraid. But I think that this verdict makes it more likely they're going to be afraid.
So this will get police officers probably to stop.
I hope.
I don't
so.
know that this will, but
It's
a start.
It's a
You
start.
say it's a good direction.
Yeah.
it's one small step in the right direction. There's still a lot more steps to take.
Okay. Well, cool. Thank you for your time.
Yeah.
All right. So you're hearing it there. All I can say is, wow. I guess let me ask the question. When I'm asking questions, can y'all hear their response? Incognito. Okay, you can. Okay. It's cold out here. There's two reasons, right, for the mask. I mean, it's cold out here, and the other one is obvious. I don't need to explain it, right? I'm trying to stay low key here, okay? I'm pretty sure y'all heard that, right? Okay. Come on, bear with me. I got that right there. So, okay.
Exactly. The control is really good, but there's those people.
All right. I think they're wanting to head over to the police department. So we're gonna head over to the police department with Deontay Williams and see what's going on. Hey, where are we going?
Downtown or to the other spot?
What's at the other spot?
I don't know. Don't we got a protest or a rally to attend? Or
What time is it?
It's 4:00 right now.
So we got 2 hours?
Yeah.
All
I say
right.
we go to the other side of the freeway where they had all those National Guard and stuff. Check it out.
Okay. I kind of want to ask some more people some questions here. I mean, you're on the rush?
No,
Okay. Maybe like 10 more minutes.
you got 9.5.
Let me see. Blazer 101, thank you so much. We'll ask them how they feel about the police officer having strikes across America. Okay. I'll ask. I can't get too close that way because they got the music going on over there. Hey, how's it going? Can I talk to you? Okay. So, tell me what you think about the verdict. 3 guilty strikes.
Oh, the verdict. Oh, number one, I was so impressed with the verdict because people were really hurt by what happened and they wanted to see justice. So, for the prosecutors, they put up a very strong case, and they proved beyond any reasonable doubt that this guy really he killed George Floyd. So before the verdict, like last week, there was too much tension around the city that if this verdict goes the other way around, then it could have gone back to where it was last year. So
You think it'd have been justified?
what?
Think it'd have been justified had, like, if they didn't do the guilty verdicts and people were going out, it'd have been crazy, right?
Very crazy.
Would you say it'd been justified?
No, but you see now, what I can say that people have to talk and people have to express their views, and the only way is through protests. to me, it was justified. Show that really they want to speak out and show that they wanted justice. You know. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, cool. Hey, thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
All right. Hello.
Hi.
You talk to me? Okay. So tell me what you think about the verdict. The 3 strikes, guilty.
It should have went that way. It should have been first degree murder.
You think it was enough?
What was enough?
The 3 strikes.
Yeah, but it still should have been first degree murder. It shouldn't have been second degree. It should have been first degree murder.
So it wasn't enough.
No, it should have been first degree murder. But those jurors knew. They knew. Everybody knows. And someone was telling me if it wasn't for the video, we probably wouldn't have got a verdict and he probably would have walked away. I hate to think that, but it is true. If without that video, that young girl had proof to have proof, you're killing this man. And also somebody else was like, the juror should have came back in 9 minutes. I agree. What are you deliberating hours for? What is there to deliberate? In my opinion, but that's my opinion. And I'm not from here. I'm from St. Louis.
Okay.
But St. Louis feels the same way. If I could speak for my entire city, they feel like, yeah, it should have been first degree murder. And they feel like, finally, just a little. Because really, honestly, it should have been first degree.
Yeah. Do you think this is justice, though?
It's a start. It's a start.
It's a start.
It is a start.
What would you like to see more? What would you like to see done more to bring justice,
All the police,
actual justice?
all the police across this nation, the United States of America, learn. Just because we have a darker skin hue, don't mean we're gonna hurt you. Because anytime a little white boy, and I don't even want to get off on this soapbox, but it's true. Anytime a little white boy can go kill up I don't know how many people and he's arrested with no problem, and he's still walking and breathing, that's a problem. That is a problem.
He wasn't even armed.
He wasn't armed.
He had nothing.
No matter what he was doing, that still don't mean take his life. That still don't mean kneel your leg in somebody else's back. And he's steadily screaming, I can't breathe. And there were other people screaming, he can't breathe. You're hurting him. But you sat there. Don't get me started. But however,
So let me ask you.
Started.
So
However,
y'all, did y'all hear about the young lady in Ohio?
yes.
Yes.
Give me your views on that.
That is ridiculous. That is ridiculous. She called getting help. She has something to protect herself. And from what I'm understanding, no, I haven't viewed the video because I couldn't even view his. I couldn't view it, but from what I understand, they said the cop just got out the car and started shooting. Since when? Since when do we just get out of a cop car and start shooting? And why didn't you assess the situation as a cop should? I've seen plenty of cops come up in St. Louis, come up to a situation. All right. What's going on? They don't want to hear no yelling and no screaming. They want to know what's going on. All of a sudden, somehow, some way, cops just feel like they don't have to do that. I mean, look at Philando Castile. He was telling the cop, I have the arm. It is registered, blah, 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 blah. He went through all of that and still, he's not with us either. So
Yeah, you're talking about the young man that was in the vehicle with his girlfriend at the time, and he let him know, he let the police officer know that I have a
Correct.
firearm in the vehicle, and he
Correct.
still shot him.
So yes, I feel like what just happened to that young lady as we were getting the verdict, I just don't understand why cops are not assessing situations. I don't understand why is it that you shoot first and ask questions later? Well, they can't be answered because nobody's breathing.
Do you think that police officers should not have their sidearms for a simple traffic stop?
Absolutely. Absolutely. If it's a traffic stop, your taser, sure. Your firearm, no. For a traffic stop, no. I feel a lot. That's why I'm trying not to get
Yeah,
off
and
on
I'm
my
talking about
soapbox.
Breonna, not Breonna, Taylor, but Deontay Wright, right? Deontay Wright. That's what happened to him, a traffic stop.
Correct. Yeah. Like all of these names we're saying, they're not here. But these people that get killed in a mass shooting and they get the shooter, if they don't take their own life first, they walking away. I don't understand that. And you can't make me understand it because they're still living. They're still living.
You think it's a lot of it has to do with because of one complexion, because they're black?
Yeah.
So how do we fix that?
Now that really is a good question. That's a good question. How do we fix this? How do we make this,
We all human. We all believe the same color.
especially before it hits air? Even when it hits the air, we still all bleed red. I don't know how to fix it. I'm not even gonna begin to. Well, you can do that. No, because we're still human, and humans are gonna do human things. I promise you, humans are gonna do human things. And
So what do you think when they say that they don't comply to the police officers and what causes
I can't.
that to happen? You've heard it, right? You've heard that, right? They say they don't comply with the police officers, and the next thing you know is a confrontation. The police officer end up shooting them.
So listen, I'm gonna say this, and then I'm gonna leave it alone. Because some officers, I'm not gonna say all officers, black and white though,
Mm-hmm.
grew up being punked, grew up being bullied. So now you a tough guy with a gun and a shield because you know your brothers in blue are gonna protect you. Now they say St. Louis is the number one for a murder rate. I really can't say how many times I've actually heard a cop shooting somebody in my own hometown. I can't say how many times I've heard a cop shooting somebody just because there's an altercation or whatnot, whatever. But I just, in my mind, I just feel like this. Every police department across this country needs to be revised. You
think they should be defunded?
No.
You don't think they should be defunded?
I don't think that, no. Because once you start defunding the cops, then you got a whole nother can. No, we don't want that. We want to just be treated, unfortunately, like white people. That's all we're asking for. We're just asking to be equal. So if there is something going on, ask questions. Hey, what's going on? Hey, what's going on? You don't,
There's white people that's just as worse. That's just as bad as blacks.
or worse off. But you
just
pulling
as-
your gun
just as much.
or you kneeling in somebody's back that cannot breathe, and we're looking at him. He can't breathe, but you sat there with your knee in this man, all of your dead weight on this man's neck. Again.
Well, thank you for your time.
Again.
Thank you for talking
You're
to
welcome.
me. Thank
You're
you.
welcome.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And where are you from?
I'm from Texas.
No, who did I just finish talking to?
Huh?
Alive?
Yeah, you're live.
Okay.
I'm talking to the world.
That's all right.
You're talking to the world.
Thank you.
Thank you. Hello. Can you talk to me? Yeah. So I just want to get your opinion about the 3 guilty strikes. What do you think?
I think it's what we need to see some change.
You think that's what's needed?
I think it's, yeah,
You think justice has been brought?
I don't know about justice necessarily. I think justice would be to have him alive, obviously, to have him here, but I think it's a step in the right direction.
It's a step in the right direction.
Yeah, to start to see some change.
What more would you like to see?
Just stop taking black men, black lives, black women, black children.
You think they're doing it deliberately?
That's hard. I think so, yeah.
You think so?
Yeah,
And they need to stop.
yeah.
What do you think about? Did you hear about the case that happened in Ohio just minutes after? So, what is your views on that?
It's
She was 15, right? 15.
Heartbreaking. Yeah, and it needs to stop. A lot of people have good things to offer the world and they don't get to see it because they get their lives taken so soon. So
Well,
it's
cool.
heartbreaking.
Well, hey, thank you for your time.
Thank you. Of course, thank
All right,
you.
take care. All right, everybody. So you have to admit, right? I'm just out here asking questions. People want to know how people are.
Thanks so much. Sorry about that. So just sorry about that. Thank you, Joseph Francis Burton. So this is Will Johnson here. Of course, Will has his own channel, and actually one of them has been taken down recently. But this is Will's coverage from earlier, and this is in Minneapolis. So apparently, before we started this stream, I was thinking, my gosh, okay, where have I seen this before? You know, of course, the memorial kind of a bit, we see that regularly. But when I started to see the gates and all these things, oh my gosh, are they setting up? I'm saying we're going back to summer of 2019, in which I remember the chop zones or the caricature of the chop zones. I'm wondering if these types of sovereign pieces of memorial are going to start showing up all over the country. I'm wondering if that's going to happen, because I think what we're seeing right now, we're in riot season. I think that's going to be a part of the fabric of our lives, and I just think that that's what's going to be. So Will is actually covering this. There's only about 10 minutes, I think, remaining in this, and I'm watching this with you for the first time, as you are. Maybe you've seen this already, or as you're watching it. But it is very interesting that I said earlier that there's a couple of ironies here. Nancy Pelosi got up with a whole bunch of black politicians, the caucus or whatever. She got up and started saying, "Thank you, George Floyd." And then this girlfriend, there's footage of her doing a speech about, making it out to be like it's some type of, it almost seems like they're painting some kind of caricature of Jesus or something, and praising this whole thing and thanking him for sacrifice. It's just really staggering, and it's really dark, and it's bizarre to me. And not to mention the other ironic thing that happened this week. Had a lot of people running their mouth, not only Waters, but Cuomo. Chris Cuomo talked about militias forming and how nothing was going to be done until, your kids, their white kids start, getting shot. But I'm wondering, how long will it be before this free state of George Floyd is surrounded by people with guns? Like, are they going to be armed people behind the gates of this sovereign free state of George Floyd, similar to the CHAP or the Chaz zone? If you guys don't remember that, that's they were behind walls, and they were armed. And he also said that there were no police allowed in that area. So I think with the Second Amendment is eroding very quickly, and they're starting with these police officers. So if they can get rid of their guns, then I think then the next movement will be, then it'll be coming closer, to your neck of the woods. So this is very interesting, and I'm glad I caught this, and I'm glad I was able to share it with you. So if you guys want to hang around for the next 10 minutes, I am going to finish this one, because this was supposed to be a test, a test or whatnot. And I thought maybe I'll have a look at this and see if it comes through on your guys' end. So I want to thank you guys. Before I get back to it, I want to thank Joseph Francis Burton for coming in, and looks like Anarchy Television. I'm going to read some comments. And Studi had some comments for us from earlier. And shout out to Jermaine G. And Rachel Burton, not Rachel. My gosh, I'm a mess. Rachel Van Ziel. Rachel pointed out that we had seen an upside down cross in the HHPH videos. So if I find those imageries in relation to this George Floyd state on the map, I'll let you know. But it definitely, there is a star on the map. I'm hearing, according to Will, you'll find that upside down cross and the star on the Android devices. So I think if you type in Free State of George Floyd or George Floyd Park or something like that, then if you see that, if you have an Android device, you might be able to see it there. And according to him, this came down shortly after Pelosi's speech or whatnot. So, and that's very disturbing what you were saying, Joseph Francis Burton, about AOC. Like, I'm telling you, like, what are they talking about this guy as if he's some type of, as if there's some kind of, Mary and Jesus kind of, it's, the caricature is just absolutely blasphemous what they're doing, and they're mocking what they're doing. And how many people are following this stuff. And when I say following, I'm saying, and how many people are being led around by the nose. And as you can see, some of these testimonials, these people haven't seen any footage or anything, but they're all breaks and no, they're all gas and no brakes. They're just full of emotions, and that's all. They arrive at everything via emotion. So, with all that said, thank you guys so much for tuning in, and we're going to finish this last 10 minutes. And who knows, worst case, I might open this up. This is a night queue, and I appreciate you guys for humoring me in these crazy and wonky times. So let's finish up.
Are reviewing all of this, the aftermath of getting 3 guilty strikes. How do people feel? How do people think about it? What's next? Was justice served? These are questions that people want to know, and I'm here asking those questions. Now, anyone who watches my videos all the time, there's a time for it, right? But right now, I just want all of you to hear this, and I know you want me to just lay it out, but give me some time, okay? Give me some time. All right. Yeah, bless her heart. Absolutely. Okay, let's see. Let's see if we can get some more people to talk to us over here. I don't want to go too close because I want them to ding me. I don't want any music. Zach, thank you so much. I'm being safe. Krista, thank you so much for the blessing. Thank you so much. Yeah, and thank you, Martha. That's exactly it. Thank you, Martha. That's exactly it. You get it, Martha. I'm not saying everyone else does. Martha's the only one I saw say it. But that's exactly it. All right, thank you. All right. Look like more people kind of cleared out of here. So and to keep kind of walking around in a circle checking my 6. I don't have no security. All right, so I'm being told that there's another event going off not too far from here. So we're going to go there later on this evening. So I'll be live there. So, you ready?
Yeah.
Where's your brother?
My sister?
Yeah, your girlfriend. Yeah, you know what? Menanella, if I'm saying it right. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. Hey, if y'all haven't connected with me on my Facebook, go look at the picture I put on there from the maps. I was talking about that earlier. It'll blow your mind. That it just, I mean, you can't even make this stuff up. This, where we are, they consider this the George Floyd Square. And if you go to maps on the iPhone and you look at it, oh my goodness, it'll blow your mind that it just happens to lay out that way. What is happening is it's 100% demonic, what we're seeing here. All of this is demonic. They're worshiping a man that was a known thug criminal. And the people don't know what they're doing. I mean, they really don't. And I get people walking by, listen to my conversation and see what I'm saying here. One lady just walked by, heard me say that, and then she walked by, and I'm watching her walk away. She kind of started picking up speed. So, I mean, I really don't care. I kind of just want to just hammer into these people about the truth and all of the lies that they've been sucking in. They're sucking them in. They're like leeches just sucking down the lies. So this lady, she walked by and she heard me say a known thug criminal. And then she turned back that way and started walking fast that way. So I don't know if she's going to go get her homeboys or what.
All right, guys.
We're going back closer to the
Sorry
hotel.
about that. This is...
Okay, hold on.
There you
Hey, do me a favor. We got 229 people in here watching this. Hit that like button for me. Can y'all help me get to 200 likes? Hit that like button for me, because when y'all hit the likes, I'm telling you, it helps the algorithm. Hello.
Hey, how are you?
Can I show what you have here?
Absolutely. We are Can Do, Central Neighborhood. I'm the executive director, Carmen Means. And so we just in light of number one, the victory yesterday. Number two, today is the 5-year anniversary of Prince. So we got music playing and we're just giving out cupcakes, enjoying this gentle break as we get back on the fight.
And the cupcakes are for the victory of yesterday or for Prince?
For both.
For both.
Absolutely.
Okay, awesome. Thank you for talking to me.
You're welcome.
183 likes. Come on. 200 likes. Help me out. Hit that like button. Look at this. I'm here with the white supremacists.
What's going on?
I have to say to my Mexican accent, I'm here with the white supremacists.
¿Cómo estamos?
All right. Thank you for hitting that like button for me. Thank you for hitting that like button for me.
All right, guys. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, for everybody that was able to tune in on this segment of Black Spring with Autumn. And thank you for walking through and kind of going through this footage from Minneapolis. And this is from Will Johnson doing this work. Will does a lot of work on the grounds. You can find Will almost anywhere. But I do want to thank the sponsors and thank everybody that was able to come in. And I'll be right back after these infomercials. guys, it's Black Spring with Autumn here. And if you'd like to help us out with our AI and dissemination of the stream campaign, please hit that like, unlike, dare to throw caution to the wind by sharing, or just making sure that you're still subscribed to the channel. And I want to thank you for your ultimate and baseline level support here on Black Spring with Autumn. And we'll be right back right after this. All right, guys, and I want to thank you guys so much again for tuning in to this. Well, I was just calling it a Wednesday, and actually, it's probably closer to Thursday for everybody right about now. And once again, thank you guys so much for coming in. And of course, you feel free to to follow Will's channel. I think it's Let's Talk About It or something like that. Is what he's got. And yeah, and I want to thank Joseph Francis Burton for all of his support, along with Anarchy Television, Studi. Thank you so much for coming in. I appreciate you guys, and Jermaine G for showing support before we got kicked off. So I appreciate it, and we're going to be saying good morning, good night, and good morning. So I look forward to seeing you guys on the next live stream, in the comment section on another night queue, in a video, a real under, or even a moonlight stream. All right, guys, I'll see you guys later.